I'm making this video for you, David Clements, because I want to show you some of the things I have been filming in light. I think you will be interested in it, and I'm so happy to have found out about you, how that you're a physicist, and yet you are looking into this realm of light that most physicists probably would write off as woo-woo stuff. Of course, you know all about that. So I've been filming light now for about 10 years, and I call it a photon of light, what I see. I use a digital camera and no flash. And I want to show you some of what I've been capturing and tell you also of a communication I have received about this light from a very unusual source. All I can say is it came into my Google Drive, a message came into one of my files, and then an entire file also came into my Google Drive from this same source. Something outside of myself, something that knew me or knows me still, and I just want you to hear what they had to say about this realm of light, because I know that you probably will agree with everything they said, because it sounds just like the things you're talking about when I listen to you talk to people on the videos that you've made. When this little orb comes out of the light, as you can see here in this picture, it moves about, and it takes on kind of like a mission to do, I don't know, whatever it's doing. It's moving and making itself morph into all kinds of ways of looking, not always like the orb, sometimes quite different. And I just want to show you some of its movements. And here's one. I see it through the viewer of my camera, and I snap a picture when I see something I really like seeing it do. I have made some videos too showing how I take pictures of this light. I'm going to put in the dialog box, the description bar rather, I'm going to put a video for you to look at that shows you my method of filming this light. And look how it looks here. It's like it's moving over something that shows dimension, like that looks like it's falling right over the edge of this orb, another orb falling over it. It just does so many funny looking things. I post a lot of my pictures of orbs on different groups that I belong to on Facebook, and a lot of people get orb pictures, but not all of them get them the same kind of orbs that I'm getting. A few of them do get similar ones, but I think I'm seeing something. Well, I know I am, because of the communication that came. That is very important for people to understand and to learn more about. This picture here, I've got videos of this little action. These two orbs on either side they send a third orb back and forth from one side to the other. Here again, you can see that same condition where the one in the middle has become part of the one on the right, but it will leave that and go to the one on the left and become part of it. And they multiply and get color. Oh, such beautiful colors. Sometimes fluorescent colors. And I have so many. I have thousands of pictures of these kind of things, and they move. And look at this one. I don't know how many orbs this might be, because they seem to just morph into more, and they change shapes, get different colors in them. Here's a really beautiful one, but one of, like, I have thousands, just this beautiful, just so gorgeous. I've fallen in love with the colors that I see in the orbs, the way they put them together. And here's several. I get this, the way I film them, I have a light, a LED light shining on a piece of glass. In this case, I had several marbles that are clear. And everywhere there's a shiny spot, my camera catches an orb in that shiny spot. And if I'm outdoors, the sun is my light source, but indoors, I use the LED light bulb. Seems to work better than any other kind of light bulb. Here's that action again, one passing the third one between the two on either end. And as it does, it starts getting color and design in it. And here they are, multiplied and spinning around in little vortex-like ways. And sometimes the orbs come out of the light and they have a kind of a ring in them. And the day I got this one, the next few orb pictures all had rings in them, just like this one. And see how they can multiply and just be so many of them. And I was looking online and I found this explanation of how subatomic particles self-propel. And I thought, well, that looks like maybe I'm looking at subatomic particles, because look at this right here, one of my pictures of that very same action of self-propelling. I think this is an artist rendition, but it's so like what it really looks like, according to me, and how I'm seeing them in the orbs, this kind of weaving as a way of self-propelling. Sometimes they'll even have a face in them. See, this is an orb, and I took this particular picture in 2012, and it was in 2017 that I noticed it had a face in it. I have so many orb pictures that I don't look at all of them all that often, and sometimes one will get past me that I didn't notice something in. And I like to look online at things like, I was thinking I was seeing the hydrogen atom, and I see all this online about the hydrogen atom. Looks like a little circle, but it has these orbitals, wave function, and these little examples here of how it moves in its wave function is what I also capture in the orbs. See, that's similar. And here's one that's similar right here. And there's some here. I just have hundreds of it, of the hydrogen orbitals. And I see them make, when I watch the evolution of what's happening in the many pictures I take, and they start off like a little X looking thing. And this little X thing grows. I see it evolve. It gets color, it lengthens, and it'll eventually get big and colorful like this one. And then it'll stretch even longer. And then it will fill up an orb with these little things that I started calling curved line balls. I'll show you more pictures of it. And I thought, wow, I don't know what's going on in this. I'm just conjecturing. But here's one where I think they look like the curved line balls. So that's what I started calling them. And lo and behold, I got a communication about the curved line balls, but not from any scientist. I got it on my computer in my Google Drive. Let me show you here. These curved line balls, I see them in I have a video that shows them a little better, but they move, and there's action going on with the curved line balls. Something's evolving in this, is what I'm thinking. Now, in my computer, I was once going to write about the power of love, so I made a file out, called it The Power of Love, and lost my inspiration and didn't put anything in it, but I just had this file with the title, The Power of Love. And one day I was checking on files that I had done nothing with, and I came across that one, and lo and behold, there was a message to me in that file. And this is it. This is that Power of Love message. I want to read it to you because this is what was said to me by, I don't know what put it in there, who, it was an entity of some sort, I suppose, that knew me and knew what I was looking at in the light and wanted to talk to me a little bit personally here, but I will read it anyway. And I just wanted you to know that they can communicate verbally, well, not verbally, but through means like this into our computers, and that whoever they are, they love us and they know what we're thinking. And even though I'm no scientist for sure, and I just love light and take pictures of it, still they wanted me to know something about what I was looking at. So I'm going to read this now. This is what they said. I want to say right away that I'm willing to get into this only because you have expressed an interest in doing it. I have no agenda but love for you and for all that which is created. I am not a being who has time for taking little trips of fantasy into other realms for the fun of it. I am serious, and I wish that to be known. I have little concern for those who believe not, nor for those who wish to start a new religion of me. I will shut down quickly if I see that occurring. Grace, you are a very good person, and you do not even know it yet. I see you judge yourself as though you were not any good, only maybe just a little bit good. I am telling you that we need more like you, and if we can accomplish this, all will be healed that is going wrong. I am going to give you a letter of a sorts in which you can address those scientists who would say that the orbs you take pictures of are nothing more than some kind of easily explained phenomena. I'm going to ask them to consider how that you are able to see light in the process of bonding itself into the curved lined balls. What the curved lined balls are is a process in which matter is being put together. It will manifest for you in due time. It will be all that you want it to be, and if you are not sure what you want, it knows for you that you want something you have asked for many times. It is that which you ask for that is both silver and gold and fruit. It will be accomplished in time, and you will have it for evidence, to use it for an example. It will be good to see, for you doubt a lot, and we want you to cease from doubting. I know that is hard to do, but with the help we will provide, you will be able to do it. To erase all doubt is always the hardest kind of thing for people to do. It requires one to deny what is and to relax and know and appreciate. It is just that for us to begin to give you the words that you seem to want, it's not easy for us because we don't know what you want to understand. Okay, about time, it is a construct as you know it to be, and it is used by God, or all that is, as a way of playing out for those parts of himself all the dramas in which you are presented with themes to test and serve to grow you into a better person. It is going to be constructed a little differently from a point in time which is fast approaching. It will be no longer a long wait until what you believe to be true comes into existence. It is already working that way for many, to a certain degree. It will increase, and you will walk in such a state of grace that you will find life to be so pleasant that you are not ever dissatisfied. Now, I was overwhelmed, to say the least, at this message, because this being knows my heart. He knows that I'm taking pictures of this light and calling it, some parts of it, the curved line balls. And it's saying that this is showing manifestation of matter. And that's what you're talking about, David, in your videos, that this realm it's not what would agree with physics at all, because it breaks all the laws of physics. And it's something that we are coming to know, and it can communicate with us like it has with me. And I hope this will happen more. It did happen one more time. Another time, an entire file came into my Google Drive, and I will tell you about that in a minute. But I want to show you a few more, or no, I want to talk to you first about this. There's a book by Glenda Green called Love Without End, and she painted a picture of Jesus because Jesus showed himself to her and posed for her and talked to her, and she wrote a book about her experience called Love Without End. And Jesus was telling her about these particles that are called adamantine particles. And I want to read just a little bit from her book about the adamantine particles. When the term particle appears with adamantine, it derives from quantum theory. Thus, adamantine particles describe all fundamental subatomic particles. These particles form all of the elements in the universe by assembling the atoms of all the original substance, such as oxygen, hydrogen, iron, etc. They are the basis of everything that exists, including our bodies, and are the smallest particles that cannot be divided any further. Quantum physicists have already discovered these particles, but have selected other names by which to identify them. Electrons, quarks, muons, neutrinos, etc. These pure particles are so small and simple that they represent an absolute and so are one of the constants of the universe. Adamantine particles are crystalline particles of infinity that all contain the stored potential to manifest any original substance or element. These particles are encoded with a type of universal DNA, somewhat like stem cells, which allow the particles to form any possible type of atom. Adamantine particles require power to build other particles and atoms. However, only one other type of energy is compatible with them. This energy is the magnetic power of love, which pervades the universe in the form of the universal life force, or chi, chi, prana, etc. Love is not only a most beautiful feeling, but is the power which ignites and directs adamantine particles into manifestation. Adamantine particles belong to both the infinite world and the limited realm of physical existence. They were the first light of creation. They are forever the light of consciousness. They provide the fuel and dynamic energy to propel thoughts into manifestation. They give flesh to spirit as well as new life, nourishment, and healing to life. Because they are commanded by love and conform to the nature and will of spirit, adamantine particles belong to all dimensions. Remember that adamantine particles respond to magnetic attraction, and with regard to human potential, it is by your love that you command them. Understanding adamantine particles and the conscious utilization of them belongs to the realms of higher consciousness. The greater law of ownership always prevails, and that law states that ownership belongs to love, to responsible custody, and the utilization of power for the good of all. And all of that sounds exactly what you've been describing in your discussions I see you have with people like Pam Gregory and others. Everything you were saying made me think, oh, this is that realm. And I've been thinking for all these years that I've been taking these pictures that this could be what string theorists call what they believe in, because I see strings in these orbs. They come in through a hole and go in through other holes. And here's one example. I have hundreds of examples of the strings, but I'll show you 2 or 3 of them here. They move about. They kind of look like they have a little head on them, and they go into a dark hole. And sometimes you'll see them go from one hole to another. And here's some going into curving around and going into a hole. Now, also, I get what looks like the torus. The torus. I have maybe 100 pictures or so of the torus that every now and then it shows up in the orb. And I've looked online and found a lot about found a lot of people posting about the torus. Here's a good example. And it's so funny, the colors they use in this rendition here are some of the same colors I get in actuality. I'll read this. There are no particles. In particle physics, everything originates in a toroidal field or energetic resonance. Matter is an illusion. Matter is coalesced energy. Your body is a toroidal field of energy. Therefore, you can interact with all things energetically. And that's their rendition of the torus. And here's another one of my many pictures of the torus that I get in the atom, that I get in the orb. It seems to be full of atoms. I always look at these little round circles, and also I can see with the naked eye when I look into light and squint my eye just a little bit, my right eye, I see a big orb form, and it has some of these same kind of things in it. But it always stays the same kind of thing I see, whereas when I take pictures with my camera, I get all kinds of other things. But with the naked eye, I see pretty much the same scene. But there's so many layers and little things that float around in it at different levels. Some of them look like what people call floaters, that a lot of people think floaters are just something that is like a torn retina, that you're seeing something on your eyeball. But no, I think it's something different. It's part of this realm of light, these little things that they call floaters. And I just want to show you this picture. This one has a kind of a thing ringing this one orb. I get a lot of things that have that kind of look about it. And here's some that have kind of a circle right in the middle of one of them. They look so many ways, and I often get this self-propelling look of wovenness or something. I get many, many pictures that have this sort of thing in the orb. And they can be they can look like anything. I call them, what's the name? Quick change artists. And they seem to pass right through one another, and sometimes they lend their colors to an orb right next to it, another one, and they get fluorescent colors in them, like this one. Sometimes, and I have quite a few pictures similar to this one, where they're just kind of spastic looking, like they're not really formed into anything in particular. And I get gorgeous ones too. I have so many hundreds of gorgeous, just like this one, gorgeous orbs, beautiful colors. And then I see them do this kind of way where they twist like this. And here's one where one part of the orb seems to be kind of exploding out of the orb, and the rest of it is kind of in layers. And they often make dark holes that have something that seems to be growing inside the orb. I don't know what any of this is that it's doing, but I thought maybe a physicist that knows more than I do for sure could make some kind of sense out of seeing some of these pictures, of which I have thousands, and I wish so much to share them with physicists who want to look at this world of light. Here's one. I've never gotten this look again. I got it one time. Looks like an ice cream cone, but this is an orb. And they move across like this, where they kind of fan out. And this is a weird looking one. And often I get them with big holes in them. This one made a perfectly round hole. And they have, a lot of times they'll have a stringy like stuff moving around about them in them, like this one. And this is interesting. This is a little creature. I call him a creature because I get him so often. I've named him. I call him Harry because he looks like a little hairy spider. But I get him, see, here he is in another one. Same little creature as in the one above. And I have maybe 100 pictures of just orbs that have Harry in them. And here's another one where it twists like this. And I see other people put orb pictures out there in the many groups that I'm part of. But I kind of got a reputation with them because nobody's quite seen the kind of orbs I get. But a lot of people do get beautiful colored orbs just like me. And here's an interesting one. It's got a ring with a ring going through that ring and another ring going through that ring. Kind of crazy looking. I don't know what any of this is. And I saw this online. It was a shadow of a single atom photographed for the first time. And it looks like what I see in my orbs, this little pattern of wovenness, like the self-propelling one I showed before. And here's one that looks kind of like a ladle. They can look so many ways. It's just astonishing. This is actually orbs too. I got this one several years ago. And here's another one doing the twist. And now I want to just tell you that I'm going to put in here in the dialog box below the video another video for you to watch. It is the second communication that came into my Google Drive, an entire file, and it's called The ABC Story of Life. And it's a story about oxygen and hydrogen, only it's calling them A and B, and it's treating them like they are little life forces that decided They wanted to do more than just disintegrating when they came together. They wanted to create a third, a sea. You'll see when you listen to that video that they entered into the water, of which they themselves made, I guess, because water is hydrogen and oxygen, and laid eggs and fertilized them like fish do. And it talks a lot about science in this little, they put this story together, and it kind of sounds like a poem to begin with, and then it goes into a little science that they've put in there that's come from our universities, where we've discovered a few things about the earth. It's not that long of a video to watch. I think you'll enjoy it. It makes you think that life came from the elements, and that's kind of what us New Agers, kind of like myself, think, that we came from the stars. We are stardust because our elements that make up our body. But anyway, I guess I've said enough. I'm going to have to end this, and I want you to please contact me. I'll put my email in the description bar, and let me know that you're interested, because I would simply love to send you albums from my Google Photos of so many pictures of this realm of light, because I know you would be interested. I don't have any people around me that believe in any of this stuff. They don't believe even that I got the communication. I mean, I tell them and they look at me like I'm some kind of wacko. And you soon get to where you don't even talk about it because you don't feel like anybody believes you. Although I do have a Facebook profile, and I put some of my pictures there and talk about my experiences. And I have a YouTube channel. As you will see from the video, it's from my YouTube channel. And one of the videos that I'm including in this is called Trip into Light to Follow a Fractal, which is a video that shows how I film this light. And so if you watch that, you'll see my method of taking pictures with my digital camera of this realm of light. And that's about all I got to say, except that, well, I'm a 79-year-old woman. I don't get out and about very much. I'm pretty much housebound. And I'm not looking for fame or anything like that. I just want these orbs to be noticed by someone like yourself and others who want to explore it even more and maybe find out things that I don't know how to find out about what this is that I'm filming, and to know that there are beings out there that know us and love us and know our thoughts. They even knew what it was that I wanted to manifest about the silver and the gold apples, and how I wanted to manifest that. And I had told no person in this world. That was just a pipe dream. That was just something I thought, and I've thought it for years, and I never could have imagined that someone was knowing my very silly thought. It's not so silly. I think we're going to manifest things, and that actually someday I will. But that message, all these messages, they came in the year 2017. And here it is, 2025. And I haven't manifested that as yet. I still haven't given up. It's just getting rid of the doubt. It's so hard to do. So I'm going to end this now and say thank you. I hope to hear from you. And I'll put my phone number in the message too, so in case you want to call me. And my name is Diana Grace Butler. And I'm so happy to know that you're exploring this. I've been so eager for someone who is a physicist to actually believe that that a simple camera can do what the fanciest equipment they have looking at atoms can't do. It's amazing. But it takes a measure of belief that, or you're willing to, go out on a limb a little bit if you're a scientist to even consider that there's something to all this. And I know there is. And it's something mighty important. And it's going to happen for people. That more and more people are going to begin to see this invisible world that's all around us. I see it sometimes when I just stare at empty space. I see things moving, boiling, like kind of invisible like, but it's like, it's hard to explain, but it's like there's movement in the empty space around me, even just in my room or outdoors. I don't often see that, but sometimes when I really try, I can see that. I hate to let you go, but I gotta go. I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye.